Hey everyone, welcome back to Philosophical Fall Guy. Here we talk to Hollywood's top stunt performers and go behind the scenes to hear their stories, and then dive a little deeper to see what they ponder about in those moments of silence between the chaos.
You're not afraid of dying. You're afraid because you don't know what happens
You don't
next.
know what death is.
Right.
Is it the end? Is it something worse? Is it
I've had the advantage of having died twice.
Really?
Yeah.
I had no idea, dude.
When I was a kid, probably 4 or 5, I got bitten by a toxic caterpillar that we have in the southeast called an asp, like the bug or like the snake, ASP. And
Wow, toxic caterpillar?
yeah, and normally it's not fatal,
Huh.
but if you're small and happen to be allergic, then it's toxic.
Wow.
And I remember going into convulsions in the backseat of my mom's car as she's speeding towards the hospital. And I remember being on the table and them trying to hold me down because I'm going into convulsions. And it's taken like 4 nurses and the doctor.
How old were you again?
I was probably 4 or 5.
4 or 5?
And I separated from my body. I was looking at it all from the top of the room.
Really?
And I realized, I got a deep sense of knowing that it was my choice whether or not to go back. That I could go back to my body and continue living or go on to whatever was next.
Wow.
It wasn't voices. It wasn't
It's just like
a
this
tunnel
sense,
of light.
like you just
It was
knew.
just a knowing.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember seeing my mom's face, the fear and the despair. And I thought, I can't let this be my last memory of my mother. And as soon as I made that decision, I'm back on the table. I opened my eyes with one giant breath, passed out. And I was unconscious for almost 24 hours.
Wow.
And that was my first death.
Wow.
And then when I was in
That's
high school, I was in Boy Scouts, and we were down on the Rio Grande River, and I was taking my swimming merit badge. And my best friend was up on the rocks teaching a life-saving class with a rope. And I'm swimming over to take a break between swims, and I go to climb up on the rock, and I slipped. And the Rio Grande River is notorious for having suck holes, like undercurrents that'll just suck you to the bottom.
Oh, okay.
And it caught me, and it sucked me to the bottom of the river before I could get a breath. And I struggled to the top, and I tried to yell for help, and they all look at me and they think I'm joking, and I go under again. I come up the second time, try to yell for help. They still think I'm joking. I go under again. I'm coming up the third time, thinking this is it. If they don't save me, I'm dead. And I see it dawn on my buddy's face. He's really in trouble. And he throws me the rope, but it's a 50-foot rope, and we're only 10 feet apart. So my last conscious thought was to reel the rope
Roll
together.
as much as you can around.
And that's what saved me. I tied my hands together.
Wow.
And they pulled me out and had to resuscitate me. And, later that day I jumped back in the water and started swimming again.
So I have a similar story.
Okay.
Actually. Well, just real quick. Do you remember anything from that experience, like crossing over at all in that one?
Not in that one. I remember being dead. But I didn't have as much time dead as I did before. But I remember feeling my consciousness come back into my body. Right before my eyes opened.
Interesting. Wow. How old were you that time?
I was probably 16.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
So definitely a lot older and able to remember more stuff. Yeah. So I think I was probably around 4 or so, something like that. And I was in a jacuzzi, and I wasn't tall enough to, touch the bottom. And so me and my sister were, I guess, walking around the edges, like they had those chairs you could sit on, but with all the bubbles blowing, you can't see where the edge of the chair is, And so their parents were like, yeah, you can go there, but just don't step into the pool. Just stay next to the edge, And Well, I stepped in and went down, and I can remember like the lights and all the bubbles and stuff, and trying to reach and not be able to get out. So I must have been maybe 3. I must have been pretty small, but I sucked in a bunch of water. And I don't know, it probably didn't take them too long to get me out, but my dad finally came over and pulled me out, and they had to, do chest compressions and get me breathing again and everything like that. And then I did the same thing. I went over and I put my arm rings on, and I jumped into the deep end of the swimming pool right after it happened.
Yeah.
And I don't even know, I was so small, I don't know for sure, like, something in me just told me I've got to do this, or I'm going to be afraid of this the rest of my life.
I can't let it beat me.
I can't let it beat me. Yeah. And even at that small of an age, something in me was saying, you can't let this beat you.
It's really interesting. I feel like there are tribes of people.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, now this is just my philosophy. I think this is one of the things that leads to a lot of PTS in people. I think there are people that are meant to be teachers, people that are meant to be artists, people that are meant to be scientists, and people that are meant to be warriors. And the problem comes when you have an artist put into a position to be a warrior. Because their brain is not designed to compartmentalize the same way.
Totally makes sense.
I think there are a lot of stunt people that are that warrior tribe. Because, like you said, you jumped right back into the pool because you couldn't let it beat you. That is your warrior spirit saying, you need to take this opportunity to get stronger right now. Prove it to yourself and prove it to the water that you're not afraid.
Interesting. That is interesting. Yeah, because it really is something different in everybody, that makes them to do different things. I know, a lot of friends and relatives that would not have done that. That would have been the furthest thing that they would want to do, is go back into the very thing that just almost killed them.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
But think about all the guys we know that have been wrecked in this business and then turn around and get right back out there and start doing it again.
And they want to get right back out and do it again, Yeah.
I mean, God, how many guys do we know that do burns that have really been scorched?
Burned. Yeah.
And as soon as they heal, they get another job doing burns.
Yeah. It's like they say, you play with fire, you will get burned.
Yeah.
But then do you let it stop you, or do you learn from it and keep going?
Well, yeah. And when I explain what we do for a living to people who don't know, I'm like, our whole job is to face death, something that could kill us, and then figure out ways to not let it kill us. That's what our job is. That's the piece that's important. It's not just being able to do a high fall.
Exactly.
It's knowing how to land and what equipment you need so that you don't die from it. Anybody can do a stunt once.
Yeah, you're right.
But when you have to do 5
to
of
walk away from it or to repeat it.
Yeah.
And even that's a bigger one, I think, is repeating something. Because, if you have to do it once but you walk away, it's still different than going back and doing it again and again and again and again and then walking away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and especially when one doesn't go to plan, but it doesn't hurt anybody, and then you've got to get back in the seat and do it again. Like,
how did I do that?
Yeah. Okay.
I was lucky once, but man, those are some great insights, man. Really appreciate you bringing that up. So, the fear, it's a fear.
It's a
seminar,
workshop or a speech seminar.
Okay, and this is for SAG, you said?
No, this is for IATSE.
For IATSE, okay.
They're doing a mental health push, and they asked if I would do my seminar for them.
Okay, so you have to be a IATSE member to go to this.
I don't know if they're opening up to other guilds. I think they might be.
Oh, really? Okay.
And depending on the response, they might bring me back to do it again.
Cool. Yeah, I'd love to hear. Yeah, I'd love to listen to that.
Yeah, I did it once at Cece's gym
at
Oh, you did?
at Apex.
Okay.
I guess 3 or 4 months ago.
How long is the talk usually?
It's usually an hour to 2 hours, depending
Okay.
on audience response.
Yeah, right.
And I'm actually writing a book based on my concept of fear right now.
Wow. That's cool. What's it called? Or what's it going to be called?
The 7 Faces of Fear.
7 Faces.
Yeah.
Why 7?
Well, a couple of reasons. One, I've broken down fear into categorical responses.
Mm-hmm.
There are 3 reactive responses
Mm-hmm.
and 4 creative responses. But they also correspond with the chakra system.
Interesting. This is very interesting.
Because, first is panic, blind panic.
Mm-hmm.
But if you run, you only die tired.
Mm-hmm.
The next is anger.
That's
the other side of fight or
the
flight.
first one's flight, second one's fight.
Fight.
Mm.
And anger can be helpful, but it's also very destructive if you live in that space. And I lived in that space for a while. Then excitement. And you see a lot of young stunt performers land in excitement. I've survived it. I want to do it again. Yeah. After you do your first high fall, I want to do another one.
Right.
And excitement, it's good, but it's not a good landing point for a long time.
Mm.
And the next step is where most stunt people live, and that's information. And that's what we talked about. Okay, these are the risks. This is how I'm going to mitigate those risks.
Okay.
The next step is humor.
Hmm.
I've never been a part of a successful team that didn't have at least one clown.
Interesting.
And that clown is going to take the worst situation and make everybody feel better about it just by saying something stupid, by finding humor in that moment.
Wow, that's really cool.
After that is compassion. First, compassion with yourself, going, it's okay that I'm afraid. But then stepping outside of yourself and go, I see that you're afraid. Let me help you. Because it's impossible to be afraid of something and help somebody else through that same fear. You can't do both at the same time.
Right. If you're still afraid,
Yeah, your brain won't work that way. If you're
can't help
focused on
somebody else
them,
out,
your fear
right.
goes away.
Right. That's like, I remember water safety classes when you're going to help somebody, save somebody. Like the person that's in fear is actually a danger to everybody else around them.
Right.
They can't help nobody.
Right.
Yeah.
But if you focus on that other person, if you focus outside yourself, your own fear goes away. The cognitive dissonance
You can't do
takes
both.
over. You can't do both. It's one or the other. And then the last phase is love. Love is fear's perfect opposite. Because you go through all the same stages in love. It scares you. You want to run from it. It makes you angry. You get excited by it. You become deeply informed by it. You find humor in it. It guides your compassion.
That is amazing.
And think about it. Think about the things you will do for the people you love. There's no risk I won't take for my wife.
Right.
Not a one.
Right. That reminds me, there's the very famous biblical passage that everybody quotes. I think it's Corinthians 13 or whatever they call it, the love chapter, right? And it talks about all those things that love are and that love isn't. And, it's a lot of like what you were just, talking about. And then and it says, but everything put together, the greatest of these is love.
Yeah.
And that's like that's the foundation of everything. It's the only thing that's going to be here that lasts forever. Actually, it says everything else is going to fade away except love.
And the interesting thing is fear is both a psychological and a physiological event. It's wired into your brain. So's love. Nobody teaches a baby to love his mother. It's a physiological and a psychological response. Wow. Those two things are mirror images.
That is, wow, that's deep.
And if you look at the chakra system, panic is in the root chakra. Anger is in the sacral chakra. Excitement is in the solar plexus chakra. Information, the heart chakra. Humor is the throat chakra. Compassion is the third eye chakra. And love is the crown chakra. The crown chakra is your connection to the divine.
Wow. That's cool, man.
Yeah.
That is really cool. So what's the name of this book again?
The Seven Faces of Fear.
The Seven Faces of Fear.
That's the working title.
Okay. Yeah. Like I've been thinking a lot about, this kind of thing. And it seems to me like love is like the core, like the source, like it's the eternal thing. And fear is the shadow of love, right? Like as soon as you have love, fear is there as a shadow, because once you experience love, you don't ever want to lose it. And then the fear of what if I lose it comes up, I think. And somehow fear now exists as this shadow alongside it.
I agree. But I look at fear as a test.
Mm-hmm. A test.
It's a test. I love this person so much. Aren't you afraid of losing this person? And it changes according to the strength of your love. The stronger your love is, the less that fear affects it.
That's interesting, because it seems like naturally you don't want to say the more you love that person, the more fear you would have of losing them.
Yeah, but the opposite is the truth. And
so you're saying the more you love somebody, the less fear you have of losing them.
Right. Because love and fear are both also habits. But they can't coexist at the same time. So the more you exercise your love, the weaker your fear gets.
I see.
And
yeah.
in my opinion, in my experience, once you have love, you'll always have that love. Now, like I lost my mom in '99. And I was blessed with the opportunity to spend her last 7 days with her. And in those last 7 days, there was nothing off limits for us to talk about. We talked about things that mother and son probably never talk about. And I asked her if she was afraid. And she goes, "What the hell do I have to be afraid of? I'm almost done. I'm more afraid for you than I am for me, because you got to stick around." And she said, the one thing we're guaranteed is nobody gets out of here alive. You should enjoy it while you can. She goes, "I'm always going to be here. You just won't be able to see me." And that's what love is. Love is always going to be there.
Oh,
and
wow.
if you put all your love in a person and then they go away, they're still alive, but they go away. That love still existed in time. Now you can let the separation break you, or you can let the separation strengthen you. And go, well, I know how to love. How do I love better? How do I love more?
So you hold on to love itself, not the love of another. Right. It's like, yeah, it's kind of hard to understand, but because you think of love as the connection, right, to another. But there's also, I guess, there's the frequency or energy of love that you can cultivate, not necessarily towards another, but just towards yourself, I guess.
Well, yeah, and so people evolve. So that person you loved evolved into a different person. But you still love the person they were.
I see. Okay.
Right? And if they step away from you, then maybe that love wasn't complete. Maybe they were an opportunity for you to learn a new level of love so that you can level up. And I mean, I was married once before Beth, and I was engaged after that, and those things didn't work out. And at the time I thought, this is the person I'm going to spend my life with. And then I met Beth, and she wasn't like anybody I've ever met in my life. She wasn't like anybody I'd ever dated. And in my mind, it said, well, she's not like anyone else, so she's got to be the right one. And
wow.
And it's been such an evolutionary love. I've never laughed more with another human being.
That's
I've
so
never
cool.
trusted another human being so explicitly.
And how long have you guys known each other? Or when did you meet her?
So we got married in '99.
99. Okay.
But we met in 99. We got married in, no, hold on. 2009. Sorry. I land on my head for a living. Math is not my strong suit. We
I'm the
met
same
in
way,
09
man.
and we got married in 2012.
Okay. Okay. Cool.
And I knew from the moment I met her.
Uh-huh.
Like, we sat down to dinner, had the best first date I've ever had in my life.
Mm.
Just talked to her like she was an old friend. No hesitation, no nervousness, no nothing. Just, we got along.
That's cool.
And
That's so rare, too.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I let her pick the place because, we were living in LA. LA's filled with some pretty strange people.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, look, I want you to feel comfortable. You pick the place. You tell me where to show up. So we met at an Italian restaurant, had dinner, had a great time. I walked her out to her car, kissed her goodbye, got in my truck. By the time I got on the 2 freeway, I had her on the phone again. I'm like, look, I'm not one of these LA knuckleheads that's going to make you wait 3 days. What are you doing tomorrow? I want to see you again. And she said, well, I got to train a horse at the barn if you want to meet me there. I'm like, great, where's your barn? And, showed up the next day, helped her groom some horses, watched her while she trained. We went out to dinner afterwards. We've been together ever since.
Cool.
With zero hesitation.
Yeah. Just knew. You just knew. Yeah.
And one of the things that struck me is her amazing capacity for love. Like, she, especially dealing with animals, she's just so at home with them because she comes with such huge reservoirs of love that animals just recognize it in her.
Excuse me. Sorry.
Of course.
Yeah, I think animals are really good about sensing that in people.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And she has been, the thing that really drew me to her is she left her family in New York, moved all the way across the country to California, pursuing her dream to be a riding instructor.
A riding instructor.
Yeah, so she moved out all by herself.
Wow.
And I thought,
that takes a lot.
that's a lot of courage.
Yeah, it is.
And
Mm-hmm.
she's restarted her business a dozen times. She, she blew out her knee, shattered her, or snapped her femur.
Really?
Had to rehab that
Wow.
and get back into teaching people. And instead of letting that limit her, she used that as a tool to help other people that have had traumatic events get past their fear and get back into the saddle.
That's cool, man. Wow.
Yeah, and it's interesting the parallels in our lives. That's the, we were talking about the way before. There are always signs along the way. There are guardrails that if you're paying attention, you'll see them. And the fact that she and I have been walking in tandem so long, it only makes sense that we would end up together. She even came to the Derby, the nightclub that I used to bounce,
Oh, yeah.
with her ex-boyfriend while I was bouncing there.
That's fun.
I probably checked her ID and didn't even know it was her.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy. You think, well, yeah, you go back and you think about these things like that are potentially crazy. Yeah. But, man, well, what a beautiful thing you guys have. That's rare and beautiful.
Yeah.
It is. And I mean, I feel like, of course, I have my own version of that with Miami.
Yeah.
But it's it's funny. I think a lot of people just don't realize that love, like you said, it has so many different layers to it, and you learn those, like you say, through the years, through different people and experiences. I would say that I've learned all those, and learning all those layers with Miami, and you have different times where maybe anger is the main, layer that you're at, but then sometimes humor is the main layer that you're at.
Well, the neat thing about it is once you figure out that's the path of fear, because there's not a single incident of anger that isn't based in fear.
You're right. Yeah, because anger to me, like, is when you don't get something that you want, right?
Right.
And so that's motivated out of fear, because you fear if you don't have this thing, you're gonna not be complete, or you're gonna die, or whatever, right?
But knowing the path means you can skip steps. If you feel yourself getting angry, you can jump into compassion. You can jump into humor. You can jump into information. Go, okay, what is it that I'm angry about?
Let me ask you a question. So how do you do that jump?
You just decide. And
Because I'll be honest, that's hard for me. Like, once an emotion has kind of taken control, so like anger, for example, it's like pulling back the team of horses and trying to get them to go in the other direction.
so here's a story that I use in my workshop. It's one of the signature moments in my workshop. I was on my way to an audition in Los Angeles. It was the hottest day on record. I'm stuck in traffic, and I'm going to be late. And auditioning, if you're late, you might as well give up.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
There's no point going.
It's the worst possible thing.
Right.
So I'm stuck in traffic. It's super hot. My car is overheating. Because it's overheating, my air conditioning quits. So it's now like 115 degrees in my car. I'm late. I'm panicked. And I am just livid. I'm screaming in my car. I'm so angry. And I noticed somebody in the next car is
Especially
staring
in
at
LA,
me.
I've been there.
Yeah. And this person is staring at me. And in my mind, I'm thinking, you better take your eyes off of me, or I'll drag you out of that car and beat you to death. And I turn and look,
too.
and he's wearing a pair of Groucho Marx glasses. The glasses with the fuzzy eyebrows, big nose,
And the big
mustache.
nose and the mustache.
And it was such a shock, I immediately started laughing. So he's giggling, I'm giggling. He points over my shoulder. I look, and the next car over, there's a lady doing the same thing I'd been doing. Just livid. So now I'm staring at her.
Right.
And she turns and looks at me, and I point over my shoulder at him. She sees him. She starts laughing.
That's so cool.
In a
I
few
never
minutes,
thought
we've
of
got
anything.
9 cars of people that are all laughing hysterically over a $1.89 pair of glasses.
Genius. Huh.
Traffic starts moving. Because it's moving, the wind's flowing through my radiator, the temperature goes down, the air conditioner comes back on. We all wave at each other like long-lost friends as we go our separate ways. Because of traffic, not only did I get there on time, everybody else was late. So I was the first one there. And I'm still giggling about the glasses.
Yeah.
So I walk in, I sign in, I have a great audition because I just don't care. I don't care if I get it or not. I am already having a good day. Giggle through the audition. I think I got it. I don't remember. But I leave there. I drive straight to Hollywood Toys and Magic and buy a pair of Groucho Marx glasses. And to this day, there's a pair of Groucho Marx glasses in my truck. And I started using them.
Now, hold on just a second. I'm almost afraid, like, because now in this day and age, like, people don't know who he is. They won't get the joke.
Well,
That's just a thought in my head, but
it's not about who he is. It's about how
it's just
ridiculous
how it
you look
looks,
in him.
Right. Yeah.
So what I found is when I'd start getting angry is the best time to put them on. Because the angrier you get, the sillier you look. But it also changes your mindset, because now you're not focused on whatever makes you angry. You're looking around, waiting for somebody to spot you.
To spot you.
So that's an easy trick, is to find a different trigger.
I love that, man. That's so practical.
Yeah.
Because you'll hear like all kinds of advice from all kinds of directions. How to not get angry. How to express yourself, but not push your anger down and suppress it, but not like lose control. And because like you said, just pushing it down makes it worse.
Yeah.
Because someday it's going to come out even worse than that.
Absolutely.
So you've got to always have a little valve on.
Exhaust valve.
And let that pressure out. But you can't do it in a destructive way. And that's perfect.
Yeah.
This is perfect, man.
I mean, get yourself a couple of big foam rubber cowboy hats. And if you're going to have an argument, you both have to wear one. How hard is it going to be to argue with somebody that's wearing a giant green iguana on their head?
Oh, dude. It's so simple. And so,
The other thing I tell
Awesome.
people is life happens in the space of a breath. When you're angry, before you make that angry response, take a deep breath. Because that oxygenates your brain. And it gives you that pause. That little bit of a pause lets you think about what your response is and what effect it's going to have.
kind of
And-
centers you.
And is that the effect you want? Because I guarantee you, whatever your angry response is not going to get you the response you want.
You're right.
And when I used to bounce, when I first started bouncing, it was about bouncing people off of every solid surface between the bar and the door. It was really about knuckle and skull.
Just literally bouncing them out the door, huh?
But then as I got better at it, I started having to use physical force less and less because I started recognizing people as people. Like I see a guy come in, scowl on his face, and instead of going, "Hey, you need to calm down," I'd walk up to him and go, "Dude, are you okay?" And that would stop them because it's not, I'm attacking you. Are you okay? Is there something I can do to help you? And they would, I remember this guy came in, like, "Are you okay?" And he's like, "Huh?" I'm like, "Did my bouncer say something to you? Because I'll fire him right now." And he's like, No. I'm just mad because something happened with my girlfriend. Is she here? I'll throw her out. And he starts laughing. He goes, "No." I'm like, "Okay, well, good. Let me take you up and introduce you to my favorite bartender." And I just spent a few minutes with him, listening to him, hearing him.
Right.
And that night,
So cool, man. to
a fight
diffuse it.
started, and he interjected. He's like, "Hey, calm down."
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
And
Yeah.
the last couple of years I bounced, I never laid a hand on anybody. Didn't have to.
Yeah, my
I remember
dad used-
one night, it looked like it was going to get real. This huge dude got into it with one of my bouncers, and they brought him out. And I knew it was the bouncer's fault because he was that kind of guy. And I'm trying to talk this guy down. I'm like, "Look, dude, I can't let you in because he's got to work the rest of the night. I know it's his fault. I know it's his fault. But there's nothing I can do about that. He's not working tomorrow. Come back tomorrow. I'll let you in for free. I'll buy your first round of drinks. Just to prove no harm, no foul." And this guy wasn't coming down. Finally, he goes, "Well, maybe I'll just whip your ass." I went, "Okay." And that was when the switch flipped. Because I just went, "Okay." And he stopped. He goes, "What?" I'm like, "Okay, if that's what it's going to take for you to be happy, we'll go out in the parking lot and get it done." He goes, "No, I think I'll just go home." I'm like, "Okay, we'll come back tomorrow." So the next day he comes back. And I didn't realize how big he
That's
was.
jujitsu.
Yeah, well, it was.
Yeah.
But when he walked up on me the next night, I'm like, "Holy cow, that's a big dude. Like, that guy's a giant." And I'm like, "I'm glad you came back. Let me get you inside." And he goes, "Before we do that," he goes, "I want you to know something. I fight for a living." I'm like, "What do you mean?" He goes, "I'm a mixed martial arts fighter. That's what I do for money. I'm not afraid of anybody. And last night when you said okay, you made me rethink my life choices."
Really?
I'm like, I didn't mean to do any of that. I was just trying to calm you down." He goes, "You're not making me feel any better now." He goes, "You were so all right with the fact that sudden violence was about to take place. You scared me." I'm like, "Yeah, that was never my intent. But let's take you inside and get you a drink." And he's like, "Yeah." He goes, "You're still probably the scariest guy I know." But in my mind, I was thinking, yeah, I'm probably going to get whipped. I've been whipped before.
It's funny because it's your lack of fear that caused him to be afraid.
Absolutely.
Isn't that interesting?
Yeah.
Yeah. And you weren't trying, it wasn't because you were trying to puff up or be bigger or whatever. It was just you didn't have that fear frequency.
Yeah.
And that's like him going, "Whoa, wait, something's off here."
Yeah, and I had to evolve to that because before my process was, look, I'm going to give you every opportunity to walk away from a fight. I am. But if you back me into a corner and my only way out is to fight you, all the rules go out the window. I'm coming out to kill you.
Mm-hmm.
Period.
Mm-hmm.
Because I've given you every chance.
Yeah.
So you've given me every legal thing I need to be able to kill you and get away with it.
Mm.
And just having that in my head stopped a lot of fights. Because they'd see that change in your eye and go, oh, wait a minute.
Mm-hmm.
That guy's playing by a different rule book.
Right.
But then I evolved out of that.
Because you didn't want it to go to that point. That's the last point you want it to go to.
Yeah. But
so you try to do everything, but then once it does, it's like, okay.
And there was
Let's
an
do it.
absolute willingness to go there.
Right.
I mean,
Willingness, but not a desire, I guess.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't want to go, but I will.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
And I mean, you mentioned shadow before. I feel we always walk within an arm's reach of our own darkness.
I totally agree. I've been reading so much Carl Jung,
Mm-hmm.
and that is something that he over and over says that we have to go into our shadow. Yeah, we can't just push it down, repress it, and try to beat it, condemn it. You know.
We recognize that that's a part of who we are,
Right.
and it's part of our survival mechanism
Mm-hmm.
as much as anything else.
Mm-hmm.
But having that willingness to, okay, I'm gonna let the monster out. You asked for it.
Mm-hmm. But that's cool because you know he's there, and you keep him where you want him to be until you need him.
Yeah.
And then he's unleashed, right?
Yeah.
I think that was when I was a kid. I was such a fan of the Incredible Hulk, Lou Ferrigno. I mean, I was so small when that first came on the first time. But I think it was just that very fact, because something in me recognized that, okay, here's a man who has great power inside of him, and he keeps it under control most of the time until he gets pushed past that breaking point, and then the beast is out. And once that happens, look out.
Yeah.
But
Well,
the beast, like the Hulk never killed nobody.
Right. But I mean,
Even
think
though
of all of our
he was the
heroes
beast.
from back then.
Yeah.
I mean, I think of Enter the Dragon
Mm-hmm.
when Bruce Lee is fighting Bolo Yeung,
Mm-hmm.
and he does that flying stomp into him,
Mm-hmm.
and there's that close up of his face, and you see him go from rage to despair that he had to kill somebody, and there was that transitional moment.
Yeah.
You think of John Wayne, your
Yeah.
namesake.
Yeah.
He never started fights.
Exactly.
He just
never
finished them.
started them. He just finished them.
Chuck Norris.
Mm-hmm.
You had to push him past a certain point, and once you pushed him past that point,
Right.
all bets were off.
And that was how my dad taught me. He taught me you never start a fight. But if you can, finish it.
Yeah.
And so that was my same. I was always, I did martial arts and went to the gym, and I did all this stuff to be able to, if it ever came to that, to be able to take care of myself. But I never went around bullying or pushing or starting fights or anything like that.
Yeah, and I was always the smallest kid in my class.
Mm-hmm.
I was little.
Mm.
I was 5'7" and 140 pounds when I graduated high school.
Were you really?
And then I went to
Wow.
Mexico as an exchange student and gained 3 inches and like 30 pounds.
So you were a late grower.
Yeah.
I was too. Yeah.
But I was also disproportionately strong.
Mm.
And growing up a poor kid in Southwest Texas, you end up working for a living a lot. So
Mm-hmm.
you had that
You're
work
strong,
muscle.
strong, not Jim Strong.
And
Yeah.
my mom, she was one of the first people who taught me about fighting. And she said, look, you're smaller than everybody. So if you get in a fight, pick the biggest guy. Here's why. He's big. He probably doesn't know how to fight because he doesn't have to know. People are scared of him. 2, they're going to think you're crazy. And the crazier they think you are, the safer you're going to be. 3, if you beat him, they're always going to remember how big he was and you beat him.
Right. You probably don't have to fight anybody else.
And 4, even if he beats you, they're going to respect you for fighting him.
Wow.
Because it's a win-win
Your
situation.
mom taught you all this stuff?
Yeah.
Holy cow, dude. That's
Oh,
cool,
my mom was amazing. When I was 9, we were living down in the Big Bend during the summer, near Big Bend National Park, out in a place called Terlingua. And I woke up one morning and I thought, I'm going to go climb that mountain. And I told her, Mom, I'm going to go climb that mountain. And she looks, she goes, okay, you going to be back by lunch? No, ma'am. You going to be back by dinner? Probably not. Going to be back by breakfast? Maybe. She goes, if you're not back by lunch tomorrow, I'll come looking. And let me go.
That's crazy.
That mountain was like 10 miles away.
My mom would never do that. Oh my God, dude.
And I asked her on her
Never.
deathbed, I'm like, what were you thinking? She goes, well, I figured you'd either find out that you could or you'd find out that you couldn't. Either way, the problem was solved. And that was my upbringing.
But she had so much trust in you.
Yeah, well,
Like, I think a lot of parents, they'd be like, well, that's terrible parenting. How could you let yourself do that to your kid, or let your kid do that? But to me, that's like she had so much faith and trust in you that
Yeah,
she knew that you would figure it out.
and she was 38 when I was born.
Oh, wow.
Like, my mom was born in 1930 during the Great Depression.
Wow.
And I was the last of 5. And by the time I came along, she had just about seen everything. And I spent a lot of time with my mom. She taught me how to survive in the desert. She taught me what plants could be eaten and how to find water and what animal tracks were what. And so she knew I had all the skills. But like you said, she had trust. Now, in the back of my mind, I'm pretty sure she probably followed me for at least part of the way.
Probably. I mean, yeah. I'm sure
Yeah.
there's still a part of that motherly instinct that's
I don't think I was out there alone, but she still let me do it.
yeah.
So, I mean, that's my upbringing. You know, you learn more from experience, and in particularly, you learn from your failures. You learn
so
more
true.
from your failures than you do your successes.
Yeah.
Success teaches you very little.
Right.
But anytime you have your ass kicked by something, that's a lesson you remember. You know, every time you remember.
For sure. Yeah.
And yeah, that was something my mom taught me too.
Yeah. There's something about the pain, the physical pain and the emotional pain that makes such a mark on you that you learn it usually once and that's it.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
when I do something wrong, my mom would spank me. She would never spank me while she was angry. She'd send me in my room. You go in there for half an hour and think about what you did, because I want you to explain it to me when I come in there.
Really?
And she would come in with the belt and go, now explain to me why you're about to get a spanking. And I would have to break it down for her and explain it to her. And we'd discuss it. And then she'd go, okay, now that you know, bend over. And the spanking was more an exclamation point on that conversation.
Yeah, spankings were like, there's different, I guess, parents, but like for me, spankings were the wooden spoon, or the belt, or the ruler,
Or the switch.
I never got a switch.
I had to pick my own switches.
Yeah, never did that one, but it was funny because honestly, they never really hurt that bad.
No.
I usually pretended they hurt more than they really did.
Yeah, well, the thought of them hurt worse than
What's that?
the thought of getting
The
spanked.
thought. Yes. Yeah.
And the anticipation of the spanking was the worst part.
Yeah.
I
right.
remember, because back when I went to high school, junior high and high school, the coaches would give you licks if you did something wrong.
See, that was kind of going on. I remember when I was in junior high, there was one teacher, and he kind of got in trouble for that. And then our principal, he could still swat you if you went to the principal's office, but it really didn't do much because it
Yeah,
just
by the
didn't
time you're in
hurt.
high school,
kids were laughing at it mostly, like,
yeah. Our coaches had a softball bat that had been shaved. I keep doing that.
That's all right.
Our coaches had the softball bat that had been shaved down to be like 3/4 of an inch thick,
Oh,
and then had holes drilled through it, and holes drilled halfway through it.
They got this down to a science.
Oh man. And they could choke up on that softball bat and really give you one. But you'd only make that mistake once, and then the next one would be a brand new mistake. And
Right.
it by process of elimination, you figured out what not to do. And we all learned that line, push right up to that point.
Right.
I think it's important, and I mean, not to get political or philosophical, but I think where we are in this day and age, the younger generations have forgotten that there are consequences for your actions.
Yeah.
And when we grew up, there were consequences.
Yeah.
That's the
Right.
thing about bouncing. I was, at the Derby, they called me the instrument of karma, because I was the consequences for
That
stupidity.
sounds like a cool wrestler's name or something, man. The instrument of karma.
Yeah. But I was the consequence of stupid actions.
Mm.
You did something stupid, here comes Charlie. But I mean, we've gotten to a point where we live behind a keyboard. We live behind a phone. People can say anything they want because nobody's standing there to smack them in the mouth. And not that violence is the answer, but consequences are important
Yeah, they are. Yeah.
because they teach you the reality of the world you're in.
Right. Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, like you said, violence definitely is not the answer, but yet there seems to be a level of violence that needs to, or at least the threat of it needs to be there.
Well, I think of it like when you're a kid and you put your hand on the hot stove.
Yeah, you get burned,
Yeah,
right?
that burn is kind of a violent response.
It's very violent. Yeah.
It wasn't emotionally violent, but it is certainly something that cements in your head. When that thing is making that pretty flamey flower, don't stick your hand in it. I mean,
I think, there's been an effort to try to erase the world, I guess, of everything that we don't like. And let's put, certain things as okay to say and other things not okay to say. And we don't want to make sure we step on anybody's toes. And so doing so, we have just created this place where you can't move.
yeah, well, it's a great disservice
Yeah.
to the younger generations
Right.
because it also gives them no room to grow
Right.
into a fully
You got
realized
if
person.
you want boundaries, you got to have somebody pushing against your boundary
Yeah.
to make your boundary.
And no matter how protected you are in your home, you're going to have to leave your home eventually.
Right.
And the world is going to smack you in the face. And if you haven't been smacked in the face before, it's going to be a shock. I mean, like in my...
And that's why so many now are so sensitive, I think.
Yeah.
Like, they get so upset over things that you and I look at and we're like, what?
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? That's
So-
offending you? Okay. We
So-
just don't, it's ridiculous,
Training jiu-jitsu, we would go hard. Like I've had my nose broken. I've had fingers dislocated. I've had minor concussions in jiu-jitsu class. Because you need to know that those things work. And the
Yeah,
only way to know that
right.
they work is put them in closest possible conditions to reality.
To test it. Yeah.
I've been hit harder by some of my best friends than I've ever been hit in a real fight.
Yeah. Likewise. Yeah.
I remember a guy hit me at the bar, sucker punched me. I mean, put everything he had on the end of a punch, caught me on the flat of the jaw. If he had hit me like an inch and a half back, he'd have knocked me out. But I caught it out of the corner of my eye last minute, took the punch, rolled my head with it, and turned and looked at him. Like, what the hell are you doing? And he took off running. And the guy that I was grabbing, which was a friend of his, I took him out and, of course, bounced him off of a few solid things. Took him out to the street. Came back in, and the bartender goes, "Man, are you okay?" I'm like, "Yeah, why?" He goes, "That guy hit you really hard." I'm like, I've been hit harder than that by my sister. And he couldn't calculate that. Like, that's, life. It hits you.
Yeah. Yeah.
But we do those things. There's a great quote by Douglas MacArthur that on fields of friendly strife are sown the seeds that on other days, on other battlefields, will bear the fruits of victory. I took that to mean the more you work on dealing with problems, the more you're able to deal with problems later on. The more you practice in the dojo, when you get in a real fight, the more tools you have to affect a success.
Right. Yeah. 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 That's wow. That's interesting. That's profound. What's his name again?
Douglas MacArthur.
Douglas MacArthur.
Yeah,
Okay.
4-star general in World War II.
He was the MacArthur that went over to Japan after we blew the shit out of him.
Yeah, Japan and the Philippines.
In the Philippines. Yeah, kind of rebuilt the Japanese because
Dark sunglasses, corncob pipe.
Yeah.
That's the guy.
MacArthur. That's what the Japanese MacArthur. I always talk about him in Japan. Some good, some not so good, but yeah.
What's funny is my unit at the 101st Airborne Division, they're called the Rakassans.
The what?
The Rakassans.
Rakassans.
And their emblem is the Tory because they parachuted into occupied Japan. And the Japanese had never seen somebody jump from a parachute before.
They hadn't? The Japanese didn't have those?
Well, not on Japan.
Not on Japan, what do you mean?
Well, they'd never seen soldiers jumping out of an airplane. The Japanese soldiers didn't have an airborne unit. The only guys that jumped out of airplanes were pilots when the plane was going down.
Oh, I see. It's, just the ejection of the... Right, gotcha. They never saw people like groups, parajumpers.
Right.
Oh, interesting.
So they called them the men falling under umbrellas.
Makes sense.
Which is Rakassans.
Rakassans.
Yeah. So
okay.
that was the name of my unit,
The
101st Airborne
Rakassans.
Division. We were the Rakassans.
Oh, that sounds pretty cool.
Yeah, they were the first unit to jump into occupied Japan.
Wow. Yeah. That's crazy. There wasn't very many. We didn't do much on Japan, really. Yeah.
No.
Cool. Well, we could probably do this for quite a while.
Oh,
but,
yeah.
I don't want to take up your whole day. So what's coming up for you in the future? Anything you got, anything planned or going in a different direction? Or
So I'm writing my book. I'm hoping to have it done by the end of the year.
Okay, 7 Faces of Fear.
7 Faces of Fear. I've also reconnected with an old friend of mine from the Army, and we are doing corporate training and public speaking. And
That's cool.
Yeah, just waiting for the next film to call.
Yeah.
You know, I actually have a film that I'm a producer on that we're in the fundraising stages of right now.
Oh, nice.
And just trying to keep this ball rolling.
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah, walking the path before me.
Yep. Just one step at a time, one day at a time. Sometimes it's how it is in this business. Things change quickly. They can. Yeah. So I usually like to try to kind of go on a note of some advice. So advice for, well, you know, of course, people coming into the business, but there's a lot of us now too that are like, all right, is this, should I stay on this path? You know?
So what I would say is really ask yourself, be radically honest with yourself. Is this something that you're doing because you love it? And if the answer is yes, stick with it. If it's not, find what you do love. Find what lights you up inside that makes you want to jump out of bed to do it. Because the world needs more of that. That kind of exuberance. You know, if film is what does it for you, fantastic. Because the people that are in love with this business are the ones that make the movies that we fall in love with.
Absolutely.
But if you're just doing it because you want to be famous, or you're doing it because, you know, you want to be cool, that's not a good enough why. Find the thing that puts the sunlight in your eyes. Find the thing that just you go home excited about the next day of work. Because that kind of excitement is contagious. And if you want the world to be a better place, that's where you start.
Wow.
Is by bringing that level of joy and sharing it with the world. You know, the smile is the only thing that you share that doubles when you share it.
I love it.
So that'd be my advice.
That's beautiful and profound. Yeah, I think I agree with you absolutely. Is finding that something that that makes you feel alive, and
Yeah.
makes you excited, and then just going for it. And I think that's for me when in this early on in the stunt business, that's what it was.
Yeah.
I never really thought I would. I mean, it sounds like pessimistic, but I don't know if I ever thought I would be really a movie stuntman. I mean, to me, it was like I just wanted to go do it and have fun, and then that led to live shows, and then it led to this and that, and
Well, and here's the crazy
Yeah.
thing, and I got to give you a shout out because you are, I think, unique in our business. Because ours is a business filled with jealousy. Everybody wants what we have. You are the only stunt guy I know that nobody ever has a bad word to say about you. Everybody that works with you loves to see you come to work because you're so competent at what you do. You're so good at what you do. There's not a thing that they ask you to do that you say no to because you know how. And you've got such a calm, easy presence and demeanor everywhere you go that every time you're on set, it just elevates everybody else. And every coordinator I've talked to that has hired you said, "Oh my God, I love when that guy's on set. It just makes the day go by better. Even if we're not doing anything, just him there makes the day better." And, that's the beauty of bringing what you love to a job like this. And there aren't a lot of stunt guys that there's no other stunt guys that I can say that about. There are guys in this business that do not like me. There are guys in this business that do not like Justin Woods or Mark Omis. And they're all good guys. But there's just an energetic that, sometimes they rub people the wrong way. 100% of the guys I've talked to about you all say the same thing. He's such a good guy. I just love having him on set.
Wow, oh man.
And the fact that you didn't even think you were going to make it, that's the big thing to me. It's like, how could you not make it?
Man, thank you. I'm sorry, but I got choked up there, man. Thank you.
That's okay.
That really means a lot.
Well,
Means
I don't think you get
more
told
than you
that
can
enough.
say. Thank you.
You bet.
Well, let's keep the ball rolling. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and thank you so much for being here.
It's an honor. It really
Yeah,
is.
it was an honor having you. I really enjoyed our time together, and let's keep in touch and let's hang out together more often, shall we?
Absolutely. Let's twist somebody's arm and get a Willy's Wonderland too.
Yeah, I'm down. Let's do it. Well, Nick Cage was in town. We should have hit him up again, man.
I know, right? Well, I'm still in touch with the producers.
Are you?
About every other month, I tweak them. Hey,
Cool.
when are we going to do a sequel?
Yeah, I think that'd be a great idea.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
I even have an idea in my head of
Yeah,
how to make it work.
cool. Well, I want to hear about it. So,
Awesome.
all right, brother.
All right.
And thank all you guys for tuning in and watching and hanging out. It really means a lot to us. I really hope you like the content and that you keep coming back. It's really important that you like and subscribe, even comment and share. A lot of people watching videos, but just put that little effort in there and do a little like or comment. It really helps out.
Yeah, and the subscribe button should be right down there.
Exactly. We'll make it there. All right. Thanks, guys. We'll see you next time. Peace.